everybody, it is me, and thankfully I only have one sticky note on here, so we don't have too much to cover, but just wanted to talk about a few things. Well, first of all, I got to go on a lunch date with my mama. I went down to work, and all the time I get together with her, it just lifts my spirits, both of us. So it was good to see her because she's going to be out of town for 2 more days, and she was just out of town last week. So I'm glad I got time with you, Mama. All right. So, yes. Okay, so this has a few notes on it because they all happened this afternoon. Let's see. I forgot to plug in the vacuum cleaner. I pulled it out from one side and I meant to plug it back in, and I tried to start it and I realized that I didn't actually plug it in. I left my sandwich on the roof of the car, my breakfast sandwich that I eat while I go to take Isaac to work, and thankfully I remembered. I was like, oh, where's my sandwich? And I looked around, I'm like, oh yeah, that's on top of the car. At least I haven't driven away with it like that, because I would be very hungry. Oh yes, and I put the one shoe on the wrong foot, but realized the mistake and took it back off. Okay, see, that sticky note is done. Crumble, that was easy. We'll get through this, no problem. Okay, let's see. Oh yes, yesterday I started the dryer without any clothes in it. I cleaned the lint tray, put the dryer sheet in there, started it, and then I'm like, why are my clothes still in the washer? Yes, so that was funny. Forgot again about taking my medicine, but yes, I'm gonna get one of those medicine things that tells me which days to take it and which times, but I haven't gotten it again, but I'm just trying to be more conscious of taking it. Alright, let's see. Oh yes, so I was writing something on my sticky note to remind myself. I'm looking into doing handicap snowboarding, and so I wrote down on the sticky note, handicap, let's see, what did I write? Yes, to call them, but crossed out snowboard, so I just had handicapping on there, and I was like, what the heck did I write down? So anyway, then it took me so long to realize what I had on there, but yes, that has been happening more and more. I bonked my knee really hard on this dresser. Oh yes, and my tongue, I think I've been noticing more, it sometimes just kind of sticks out on its own. And that kind of goes along with, I had to get a cavity filled, and they told me that my tongue was like fighting against them the entire time, and that they had to do it really fast because of that. So I've never heard the dentist tell me that before, so I'm sure that's part of the chorea. Right. Was calling to activate my debit card, and I had it upside down. And I was reading the numbers. I'm like, this is weird. Is this some sort of security thing where they do this? Anyway, and then I realized it was upside down. Right. Yes, burned myself on the toaster oven in a little bit today, getting something out of there. And got out a knife instead of a spoon for my coffee again. Alright, so one thing, so you guys know my friend had her baby, and I was like really excited, but all of a sudden I saw pictures of people holding the baby and Ashley holding the baby, and like all of a sudden I just like, whoa, like missing Connor so much, like this instant like, ugh. And like I even got a little bit jealous as I was looking at the pictures, and I was like, oh no, now I can't look at pictures of her. But we actually, when I was pregnant and she was taking a little while for her to get pregnant, then we had to kind of have a boundary where I wouldn't talk about things regarding the pregnancy, because just trying to be sensitive to that. So it's just like, then now she has a baby and the shoe is on the other foot, and I just wasn't expecting for it to hit me like that. So I'm like, I just need to sit down and journal. And as I am, I'm like, my daughter, like, Jennifer is just looks like me. She's totally mine. She knows I'm her mama. So there's no question in my mind with that. But it's like when I see pictures of Brian and Connor, it's like, does he even have a mom? Am I his mom? I don't feel like his mom when I see these pictures. He's never gonna say mama, and just like kind of griping and getting it out. And then Brian texted me the next day to say that Connor was saying mama. So it's like, I didn't tell anybody about what was going on in my heart, but God knew and used Brian saying that to me. So now I'm back in this place of peace and exciting to see the babies again and see Ashley's picture. So God actually healed that really quickly this time. Oh, right. I think that's all I have today. I'm going to read from this one, and the title is called Pause. Pardon me if it takes me. I didn't sleep very well last night, so bear with me. Pause is the word the Greek translation of the Bible uses for Selah. I like to meditate upon the way it occurs for the first time in the Psalms. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. Selah. But thou, O Lord, art my helper, my glory, and the lifter of my head. We have all been subjected to the wearying voices which flood the very atmosphere around us, complaining there is no help. These voices murmur and murmur the same words, no matter what the challenge or difficulty may be. There is no help. But because you and I are both in God, we need not listen. There is no help, they repeat. Pause. But you, O Lord, are my helper. No matter to us what the voices say, their words bring only weariness. But with his word comes peace and strength and courage to go on. This is true not only with the difficult outward circumstances of our lives, but with inward temptations too. We are tempted, and at once we recall past failures in this same area. This causes us to feel weak and start to fall. The voices within are saying, there is no help. Even these inner struggles may be turned to peace. How? Instead of trying to answer the many voices of the enemy or arguing with them, we can never win this type of argument. We must do something else. We pause. We look away from self, away from the enemy, and look up. There is no help but you, O Lord. Some believe that Selah only signifies a sudden pealing forth of musical instruments. The pause then was for praise. Then let us fill all of our pauses with praise. Let us give all that lies within us, not to the voices of the enemy, but to the pure praise, to pure loving adoration, and to worship from a grateful heart, a heart that is trained to look up. And that is I'm not going to go into too many details of a certain situation that's going on in my life right now, but it does regard one of my kids, and it's that is what I need to remember, to just pause, and that God's presence is just all in the midst of it. So I hope that is helped you guys too. And the song today, You Are Kind, by Amanda Cook. Yes, and that's all I have to say. I'm supposed to be running 18 miles tomorrow. Wish me luck. Then only 2 more long runs until my marathon. I'll talk when I have more to say.